Hi guys, welcome back to Girl Therapy. I'm your host, Nicole. Thank you so much for coming back another week. I missed you guys so much. Hope everybody had an amazing weekend. This past weekend, I was in Dallas celebrating a girlfriend's bachelorette. We had so much fun. This is just a little recap before we get into today's episode. And today's episode, speaking of getting married and dating and all this stuff, is going to be about how to not get burnt out in dating and how to not feel disappointed or not I can't keep that. Can't protect you from disappointment, babe. It's gonna happen. But how to not feel discouraged and to just like keep trudging through, because I know it can be really difficult out there. Like I know it's hard. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. And yeah, super excited to get into it. But basically, yeah, just a little recap. I spent this past weekend in Dallas. It was my first time in Dallas and I absolutely loved it. I've always gone to Austin and I've gone to small towns in Dallas. Gone to small towns in Texas. If you know some of my lore, you'll know that like I dated a man in a small town in Texas. I definitely told this story once. And that was really interesting. But it's so funny, full circle, is I had a friend, Blake. He's still a friend, but he's not like, he was my best friend because I used to work with him. He was my coworker. Haven't seen him in a bit, but he was from Gun Barrel, Texas. And it's like this small town. And we literally were staying in Gun Barrel. Like our house was an hour outside of Dallas because she just got this like beautiful property that just had so many activities on the lake. It had chickens, it had cows. Like we went out fishing. Like it was truly so much fun and magical. And I texted him, I'm like, not me being like literally in Gun Barrel. Like I never thought that I would see essentially your hometown, but it was just really, really funny because I never thought I'd see myself there. But we had an amazing time. We like did the rodeo one day. So that's when you go to the stockyards in Dallas, and I still have some posts to do on that. So it was just such a fun experience. We did a PowerPoint presentation night where everybody just like picked a random topic. I did 8 rules I would enforce, or 8 laws I would enforce against men if I had the power to. And everybody just kind of like shared either something about themselves, their dating, or just something funny. And it was honestly such a good bonding experience to do that on the first night, because then we just kind of got to know each other, because a lot of us didn't know each other. And we're all just from different walks of her life. So yeah, and like some people have known her forever. I am just like a new friend. But basically, yeah, so just an amazing weekend and couldn't be happier. I came back yesterday afternoon. I literally slept like half the day because my flight was so early. I had to leave the Airbnb at 6 a.m. but we didn't go to bed till like 3:30 because we all wanted to like hang out as long as possible. We were at the stockyards for so long, and then we went out to like this big the biggest what's it called? Biggest honky tonk. I was like, what's a honk? It's just a bar. It was massive. When I tell you that this thing like had like a whole stage in there with like a concert, you could like buy actual like seats in the bar. That's how big it was. Like I wouldn't even call this a bar. It had like food in there. It was massive. There was probably like 10 bars within the bar. They had a huge dance floor so people could like legitimately dance. And it's not like, oh, like people are getting down. No, this is like legitimate dancing. So if you're not legitimately dancing like with a partner, like don't get on the dance floor type of vibe. And yeah, it was just so fun just like mingle, and half of us don't drink. So it was like actually a good balance between like people who drink, people who don't drink. I taught them yoga in the morning, and it was just a gorgeous weekend. But where was I going with this? Yeah, so I got home at my flight was at 6. I got home. Thank God there was no flight problems, because the way there I had so many flight problems. I was stuck in freaking Oklahoma, but I literally was running on 2 hours of sleep, and I came home, fell asleep for like 2 hours, which I never sleep midday. Woke up, went for a walk, came back home, went to bed again. Like I was exhausted. It was still hard for me to wake up this morning. Well, didn't wake up till 9 a.m. today, which is crazy for me. Anyways, you guys don't care about my sleep schedule. But yeah, we're here. I missed you guys. I didn't record last week. I was just so bogged down with so many things. Oh, my retreat sold out. So if you don't know, I'm hosting a Costa Rica retreat this coming end of August, and I actually have a phone call with them today because I think I'm going to do another one back to back. So if you didn't get a chance to see my post about the first one, because I just put it on my story, then stay tuned. And if you want to come, I'm going to be posting more about that. It's 18 spots total, and it's going to be 4 nights 5 days. 4 days 5 nights. 4 nights 5 days. in the jungle in Costa Rica. So many activities, yoga and Pilates every day with me, and then just all the fun exploring. And it's just going to be a great group of girls and a good time and wellness. Obviously, it's going to be a sober retreat. And yeah, that's going to be amazing. Oh, I'm getting my Pilates certification too finally this weekend. So I am a busy gal, but it's all amazing things. We hosted our 365 event. That's what just happened. It was incredible turnout. Everybody showed up. We had a blast. And then we have another event coming up. So stay tuned for our next one, which is going to be Glow and Flow. So it's going to be some skincare and a workout, and it's just going to be amazing. So please stay posted on my Instagram. I don't just tell you guys to like follow me just to be like follow me. Like I tell you guys that because like that's where I post everything. And some of you guys will be like, how did I not see this? How did I miss out on this? So I'm like, girl, do you follow me? Do you stalk me? Like you got to watch my stories. Okay. So yeah, those are pretty much all my updates, and we'll get into today's episode. So I was just reflecting while I was in Dallas, and like now I'm 30, and I've been dating, not like I haven't been on a date yet, but I've been in the mindset of dating. Like I do want to find my partner. I do want a relationship, and I have been more open to, just who it could be. I've been open to the idea of it not being certain people that I want it to be, and that's a big thing for me too, because I'm the type to like, I'll meet somebody and I'll really like see it with them, and I could be like, oh, I could see myself with this person, and then I tend to put all my eggs in one basket. That's just how I function though, so everybody's different. I know sometimes in dating they say like don't put all your eggs in one basket. If I'm taking somebody seriously, like I'm gonna put all my eggs in their basket, because I don't think it's appropriate to like juggle around a million different things if you're trying to actually build something with one person. And it's a lot of energy to juggle a lot of things, and I'm very specific about who I give my energy to and how much energy I'm going to put towards it. And I think it can be really unhealthy to hyperfixate and put, so many eggs in a basket where you're dating so much and going on so many dates, and maybe you're talking to 2 or 3 different people. Like that's a lot of energy. And I am just more stingy with my energy. I'm not stingy with a lot of things. I'm stingy with my energy, and I'm not going to just be handing it out. So I am the type to kind of put my singular egg in a basket and kind of give it a fair chance, and where was I going with this? Oh God, guys. I was just thinking, I've been putting myself out there about dating, and I guess I was just like thinking about it because like I have had I've had so many positive experiences dating. And I think when you bring girls together and we're all talking about dating and bachelorettes, everyone's like, well, I heard dating in Miami is horrible. Like that's always what people say. And I'm just like, it's not. I don't even like to say dating is horrible, because then that's going to put you in a bad mindset. And then it is going to feel super discouraging if you're already speaking that into existence. Oh, dating is horrible. Yeah, it's going to be horrible then, because you're going to look for all the horrible things and it's going to sound exhausting. But everybody's just like, yeah, like how's dating in Miami? Or I heard it's like this, that. And I'm just like, it's not bad. It's not bad. I have such a positive mindset about dating. And like, I think that if you're doing it correctly and making it fun, it's an enjoyable experience. And I think a lot of people approach dating in a way where it feels like a job, and I get it. It can be. It's a full-time job, putting your energy out there, meeting up with people. And there was a time when I was going on a lot of dates, and I don't even know if I fully wanted to like be going on so many dates. I was doing it for the plot, and it was good for character development. And I was honestly kind of doing it for content at the time, of just like, I never really went on a date with somebody who I wasn't attracted to, or there wasn't like something there. But I would say I definitely went on dates with people who I was like, yeah, that's probably not going to work out, but it's okay, because I was younger then, you know what I mean? And it gave me the experience, and it made me who I am, and it's all developed me. But I'm not obviously going out as many dates as I used to go out on, that you guys have seen me. Like I used to just be like the dating girl. I'm not like that anymore, but I am putting the energy out there that I'm open to dating, and I want to date. Like I want to find my person, and I know I'm going to. And it's honestly been really fun to have like this mindset of like any day could be the day, or like any person could be the person. And all it takes is one little thing to change everything. All it takes is, one night of maybe going out, or one decision, one workout class, one restaurant, one event, one friend of a friend, one connection. that's getting me closer to my person, and everything that doesn't work out, it's okay. It's not personal. And that's kind of like how I look at it now, is as I've gotten older and I know myself more, and I'm putting myself in places that I know I belong in and that I want to be, I know I'm getting closer and closer to my person. And I know myself so well now. Like I'm thankful that I didn't end up with a partner who I maybe wanted 2 years ago or 3 years ago, because I'm not that same girl. And maybe that partner would have woken up one day and been like, wait, who is this person? Because I married that Nicole. And yeah, of course, couples can grow together. But I think if I had married someone who was really into drinking, going out, this or that, maybe they would have never grown out of that. And maybe I would have never been able to fully grow into my potential of being, sober now and living such a health and wellness focused, lifestyle. And I think that had I ended up with somebody, maybe I would have ended up with the wrong person who wouldn't have encouraged me to go in these positive directions. Like, I really think I had to get there on my own terms and get to where I'm at now on my own, so that now I know myself so well. And I'm like, I don't want somebody who drinks. I don't want somebody who parties. Like, yeah, if they have one drink here or there, that doesn't bother me. But I know the type of person that I want to attract, and the type of person who, like, I want us to have similar priorities. I want to have us to have similar goals in life. And I know, like, that's like obvious, Nicole, like, you want somebody who has all those things, but like, I didn't know those things about myself back then, like, I didn't really have a specific vision for myself. I didn't know exactly what my goals were. Like, I knew, like, generally, but like, I really didn't know, like, where I saw myself going with the whole social media thing, and what I wanted out of it, or why I was not handed, but like why I gained the platform I did. And I knew it wasn't like to just share dating advice. I'm not an expert. Like, I knew it wasn't just to like just do silly, goofy things. Like, I love to encourage and support and motivate people. And my platform has transformed as I have. And it's now become health and wellness focused. And now it's to the point where I'm hosting retreats and doing that. And I'm like, wow, I found my purpose. But it took me a lot of time to get there. And had I maybe been focusing more on dating, or had I been with somebody, maybe I wouldn't have fully developed into who I am now. Like, it would have maybe stunted my growth. And that's kind of how I look at it. And I think I think it totally would have stunted my growth, because like, how would I have discovered all these things about myself? Like, how would I have had the time to go about this? And I'm so thankful now that I know kind of where I see my future and the person that I want to be, so that I can now know exactly the type of person who's going to be right for me, and the type of person that I want to attract. Like, I'm not attracting the partiers. I'm not attracting the fuckboys anymore. I'm not attracting the people who have bad habits, or, aren't hard workers, or this or whatever. Like, I'm attracting the right type of person, which has made dating so much more enjoyable, because I'm like, wow, like, you're not a piece of shit. Like, you are, communicating with me. And listen, you can't always tell if somebody's going to be like that, but you can certainly weed them out faster. People will present themselves to you the best, version of themselves, but they'll be exposed really quick, because you know yourself so well and you show up so authentically. And I think when you show up so authentically yourself, it's so easy to call out when somebody's not being themselves, or it's so easy to recognize when somebody's energy starts to shift and you're like, wait, I've shown up as me day one. Why are you switching up? And then it's easy to kind of be like, well, I don't want that. As you get older, it's easier to stick to your values and the things that you want, and not sacrifice those things to try to make it work with somebody. Like, there are times and places for that. There's compromises in relationships, and I'm not saying every relationship's easy and we're going to be a perfect match. This person's perfect, I'm perfect. No, because I'm not perfect, they're not perfect. And I know that. And I know that we're going to grow and work on things together. And that's the beauty of it all. But if you're not showing up like baseline, like just a decent person, and you can't respect me, communicate with me, this, that, I'm not trying to fix you. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to teach you. And I'm not trying to make you fit into my life. I'm not bending over backwards to try to fit this person in my life anymore, because then I'm going to spend the entire relationship or the rest of my life trying to make it work. And I don't want to do that, because relationships are already hard. Dating's already hard. I'm not going to make it harder on myself. If you can't give me like baseline what I'm giving you just as a human, like, and you're just a good person, and you're showing up for me, and you're being reliable, and you're easing my nervous system, and you're not causing me stress and anxiety, then I don't want that. And I'm not attracted to that anymore. I feel like I really broke the pattern of being like, oh, I'm attracted to the guy who's like hot and cold and in and out, because that's what I was used to growing up. Yeah, I was used to that growing up, but that's not who I am anymore. And I'm not letting that write my entire story. I'm not letting that be the determining factor of who I choose as a person. Like, I took control of that and I fixed those things and I healed those things, and we're all healing constantly. And the more people who get thrown at me like that, the easier it is for me to really put my healing into practice and put myself to the test and be like, Nicole, like, have you really learned these things? Do you really trust yourself? Do you really love yourself? And I see these people as they're all mini tests getting me closer to my person. So if you come at me with that weird energy, if you come at me and you're showing up in and out, hot and cold, I don't want you. And I'm not going to try to fight for you. I'm going to let that shit go. And it becomes super easy to let those people who are wrong for you go as you go older and as you know yourself more, because like, I know I'm a stand-up person. I know who I am. I know I'm going to show up. I know that I'm a good person, and I know that I know who deserves me and who doesn't, essentially. And I'm not trying to overgive. I'm not trying to exhaust myself, because I don't want to spend an entire relationship doing that. I don't want to spend an entire relationship trying to earn love or prove myself. I don't want to spend an entire relationship begging somebody to love me the right way, begging someone to show up for me, wondering if they're going to show up for me. I don't want that. And I think because I know that I don't want that for myself, when I start to spot that, I'm okay with letting it go, because it's like, you're just not my person. You know, maybe that works for somebody else, or maybe you have some more healing to do. That's fine. It's not personal. I'm not mad at you, but I'm going to let it go, because it's been hard enough, right? Like I said, dating is hard enough. I'm not going to sit here and make it harder on myself. And we have such a short amount of time. And when you think about it, like, the more time that you waste on somebody who's not right for you, the more time you're wasting on finding that person who is right for you. The more you're letting just stand in the way of getting to that other person. Close the chapter. Turn the page. Like, we're not just trying to reread the same page over and over and over again. We already know what's going to happen. Flip the page. There's going to be somebody on the other end. And the beauty is, you don't know who it's going to be or when it's going to happen. And that's fun. But you have to just go about your life. Like, I find it so easy now to just move on because I've learned my lessons so many times, and I've been the girl to hold on. Like, we were at the rodeo this weekend, and like, this guy is like literally holding on to this like bull or horse for dear life. I've been that girl who's held on. Like, I'm getting bucked around. It's not fun, like blowing out my neck, back, like not literally, but like, you know, like, you're hurting yourself when you could just let go. And yeah, you might fall, it might hurt, but you're gonna get back up and get on your feet. Okay, you're gonna crawl away from that. all these cowboys like crawling away from the animal, but it's like, then you get over the fence and you're safe. Not me like using the rodeo as an analogy, but really, like, I held on to so many things that were wrong for me, and you just end up hurting yourself when letting go. It's the hardest part sometimes, because your ego, he's like, oh, I have to hold on for the 8 seconds, but like, my shoulder is about to rip off, right? Like, it's like, yeah, there's a time and place to hold on for the right person and to like work through it. But if it's not working, if that thing is trying to buck you off, like, get off and then pick yourself back up. And I'm okay with getting bucked off. I'm okay with falling off. I'm okay with letting it go and dropping the ego. Like, I truly have no ego going into dating. And I think that also makes it more digestible, because I'm not out here trying to seek validation from somebody. I'm not trying to find myself in somebody else. I'm not trying to find somebody to fill my own voids. I've filled that. I give myself the love that I need. I give myself the encouragement I need. Anything that I need, I know I'm capable of giving it to myself, which is why I don't seek that in other people. And I don't need somebody else to do that for me. I don't need somebody else to show that for me or to give that to me. So there's nothing I'm really tying to somebody else. I'm not attaching to somebody because I'm like, this is where I'm getting my fill of this or this or this. No, I'm getting that all from myself. So in the nicest way possible, thank you, next. And it's not personal. Like, and I don't have an ego. Like, I don't need the hot guy. I don't need every single person to be interested in me. I don't need every single person to like me or want to date me. It's just not going to happen. It's just going to be one person at the end of the day, you know? And I think like, there's a lot of guys out there who are dating a lot of women at once. And why are they doing that? For their ego, for their validation, because they're insecure in some sense. Maybe their job's not doing well that month. Okay, great. Let me date 5 women who will make me feel good about myself, but I'm not going to take any of them seriously. You know, like, that's not cool, but that's what it is. And I think like some girls who are super insecure too, like, you're going to seek validation in other guys. Like, I mean, why do we post thirst traps? We want to get somebody else's attention. We want somebody to validate us. We want somebody to tell us we look good. Tell yourself you look good. You don't have to post it, babe. And that's kind of like where I'm at this point. It's like, I don't need to, I'm not chasing somebody. I'm not posting to get somebody's attention. If somebody needs to see a picture of me to get to remember that I exist on this planet Earth, they're not my person. Like, simply not it. Like, I don't want the what are you doing text. I don't want the come over text. I want the I'm gonna pick you up in 5, let's go get a nice dinner text. You know what I mean? Like, and that's rare. And you have to know that it's gonna be rare. I want such a special love that I know it's gonna be rare, and I know it's not gonna be easy to find. I'm not just gonna find that, just in anybody. It's gonna take a really special person, and I'm okay with waiting. I'm truly so happy and fulfilled in my life, whether that's through my hobbies, my job, and my friendships, that I don't feel like I need somebody. Would I love somebody? Yeah, of course. Like, but I don't just want anybody. I don't just want any random Joe Schmo from the street. I want the right person. And I think because I'm so fulfilled in so many aspects of my life, it's not like I'm like clawing at like, oh, I need a relationship. Oh, I need to find somebody. I like need to feel like I'm not feeling like I don't have a lot of free time. Honestly, I don't have a lot of free time. So it's not like, oh, I'm sitting around, just going on a date to go on a date or going to do this to do this. It's like, no, I'm really putting myself in places that only I want to be in. I'm taking things very seriously. If I'm out on a date with you at this point in my life, like, it's serious. Like, I'm not casually dating, I'm serious dating. And I think I'm just like so fulfilled that I'm not really exhausted by the idea of dating, because I'm not going on that many dates, and I'm also not sitting around bored. Like, my energy is in so many other things. My hands are in so many other pots that make me so happy that, like, dating is just something like an extracurricular. And believe me, I don't want to end up alone. Like, I want to find somebody, but I'm not going this like crazy hyper fixation of like dating like I feel like I used to, of just being like going on so many dates, because I feel like that was really all I had going for me previously. Like, that was kind of like what my job rided on, because it was so much of my content. Now that my content switched like health, wellness, and whatever, and it's like just girl talk, I don't feel like I need to like chase dates to feel fulfilled, or chase dates to keep you guys entertained. I don't think that's really why you guys are even here anymore. So that's cool. And like, I don't need dating to feel good about myself, because I feel good about myself by my hobbies, through my friends, and through yoga, and through also learning new things and experiences. And like, I don't seek finding things through dating anymore, which is why when I'm dating, it's like, I'm just there for a good time. I'm just there to meet a new person and for it to potentially be my person. I'm not trying to find anything else in that date of whether I'm just like, hey, can I enjoy my time with you? And if not, no harm, no foul. Like, if not, then we move on, and that's okay. Like, on to the next one. And maybe the next one comes in 6 months. Maybe the next one comes in 8 months, and that's okay. Like, I'm not sitting around waiting for my person to show up. I'm also not expecting them to just show up at my doorstep. I'm putting myself in places, but it's like, I'm going out and I'm just enjoying life, and I'm putting my good energy out there. And when you do that, you're going to find the right person. If you're a positive person, you are happy with your life, you're feeling fulfilled, you have good energy, like, you're gonna attract that right person. And believe me, I know it's working. I attract people left and right. I have people who are coming to me, and they're asking me out on dates, so I know I'm doing the right things. It's just a matter of finding the person who I actually feel that chemistry with and attraction to. So I'm not worried. Like, I know it's taken care of. I know God's got it. I know God's got a plan, and the plan's been great so far. And even though I couldn't see it previously, everything's worked out. Even though I'm like, in the moments where things didn't work out with somebody, where I may have been heartbroken, I can understand now. And now there's like the butterfly effect thing that's happening on TikTok. And I do think that's a beautiful thing, because the butterfly effect is crazy. It just takes one thing, right? And when I was talking to this guy, it wasn't too long ago. I guess it was almost a year ago. I really, really liked him. And we had some difficult conversations early on. This man taught me to communicate, because I waited a little bit to have these conversations. And when I knew things were getting a little bit weird, I was scared. I was scared I was going to lose him. I was scared to say something. And then eventually I did say something, and it led us down to like have this very serious, mature, respectable conversation. yeah, it didn't pan out exactly how I wanted it. Like he didn't say the things that I wanted to hear, but he was honest, and it was super healthy, and it made it super easy for me to be like, you know what? Maybe it's just not the right time. Maybe he's not the right person. And I allowed myself to think those thoughts, because sometimes I'm not. And that's kind of how I started this episode, was sometimes I can hyperfixate. And I'm a normal girl. Like I'm just like you guys. I get disappointed. I feel disappointment. I feel like you guys don't see that. You think I'm super happy and positive all the time, which I am. That is my default. But I do get disappointed. I'm somebody who gives so much to people and so much in relationships, and sometimes I'm so positive that the letdowns feel a little bit harder and the disappointments hurt a little bit more, because I'm like, damn, like I really thought, like I really like was in this delusional land that like we were gonna live happily ever after, because that's who, like I'd rather live there, I'd rather live in that land than the other land. What's the other land? Like just sadness. But yeah, maybe you don't feel disappointments as hard, but I would rather think that people are good people at their core. I'd rather think that people are going to show up for me. I'd rather think that I can rely on a person and trust a person than think the opposite off the bat. That's just who I am. I know some people flip-flop. I don't know. That's just how I am. I do feel discouragement, but I can bounce back so much easier now, because in that moment where I felt super discouraged by having that conversation with that person, I also looked at the fact where I was like, I got my answers. That's good. That's a good thing. I prayed for that. I prayed for discernment. I prayed for clarity, and I got the clarity. Did it hurt? Yeah. Did the clarity come in a way where I was like, damn, that wasn't the right clarity? But like I got my clarity, which is what I wanted. So I can't be mad at that. We had a respectable conversation. Can't be mad at that. I communicated my feelings. He communicated his. Can't be mad at that. That's great. Like I'm learning something, and hopefully he learns something too. And I'm leaving this being like, I said everything I had to say, and I can now move on. And here we go. Day one, day by day. And I feel like I have a quicker rebound now, one, because I know myself and what I deserve, but two, because I know it's leading me down the right path, and God has a plan. And when I feel that discouragement now, I'm just kind of like, okay, what can I do with this? What can I do with this extra energy? Because now it's like, now that I have my clarity and I know that I don't need to wonder anymore. I'm not expecting a text or a phone call or this or that, like, or whatever from this person. What can I put my energy towards? And how can I pick myself up and turn this bus around? And I remember that night where I had that really disappointing conversation with that person, and I was upset. I was like, let me channel this into something else. And that's when I signed up for yoga teacher training. And that this butterfly effect is crazy. I signed up for yoga teacher training, one, because it had been something I'd always wanted to do and I was drawn towards it. But I was like, you know what? The yoga has always healed me. This is something I've been wanting to do. I do tend to put a lot into my relationships, and he's somebody who's super busy and works really hard, where maybe I would have been like, maybe I need to make his life easier and not focus on my goals and dreams, because, and so when that happened, I was like, I'm going to sign up for teacher training. And that's what I did. And I feel like I maybe touched on that story with you guys before. And my pain turned into my purpose. All these things that I've gone through have become my purpose of teaching you guys. And I'm so thankful for all these experiences. But yeah, it's like, I am now selling out retreats, and now I'm at a place where I'm like, wait, now I know exactly what I want. Now I have such a clear vision on my future. Now I really feel like I got my shit kind of together. And believe me, I'm 30, just starting to get it together. So if you're like, oh my God, I don't have my stuff together, I still don't have my stuff together, but I'm a little bit more together than I was before. And I'm like, if that hadn't ever happened, maybe I wouldn't be where I'm at now. And now I do feel like I'm at a place where I'm like, I got a grip on my career. I got a grip on my purpose and all this stuff. Maybe now is when I'm actually ready. Maybe I thought I was ready then, but I wasn't. God was like, no, you're still cooking, babe. I'm still putting you back in the oven, and I'll take you out when you're ready. And that's kind of how I feel, is like, I felt like I was ready in some aspects, but I had a little bit more growth to do. I had a little bit more work to do on my own. And I did that, and I'm so grateful for how things panned out. And yeah, like here I am, and I don't feel like that sad about it anymore. Like I honestly don't. Like I actually don't feel sad about it at all. But that was someone who I really, 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 really liked. So when I tell you I really liked this person, like I really liked this person, like I pictured myself marrying this person. So when that didn't work out, like my fucking throat fell into my asshole. Like you bet I wanted to throw up. I didn't eat for a week. I was sick. And it hurt. Like I was disappointed. So I don't want you guys to think like, oh, Nicole doesn't bounce back. No, like I was disappointed. I felt that disappointment, but it only lasted about a week or two. And then I started to be like, you know what? I signed up for the teacher training as soon as that shit started. Like, I was in it and I met so many new friends. It led me a whole different path. And like, now that I have that and I can see like where it led me, I even have more experience and more knowledge of being like, okay, it really is not personal. If it doesn't work out with somebody, I know it's for a reason. Like, shit, like maybe the next person doesn't work out with them. Maybe it's because I'm supposed to be president. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much to be positive about and look forward to that I don't feel discouraged as much anymore. Like I said, you can feel it for a moment. Like, you feel your feelings. That's healthy. Be sad, be disappointed. Like, you should expect people to show up for you. So when someone doesn't, yeah, that's going to be disappointing. But I can bounce back so fast now. And I think, like, again, that just comes with experiences and age. And I don't think it's something that I can teach you. I am here to share my experience. I'm here to like share this with you, encourage you, and give you hope. But I think like, you're going to go about the process in the way that you're meant to go about it. Like, you're going to go about it in your own way. You have to live the human experience. And I can't sit here. I can tell you, but you're going to have to learn yourself. If you're in your early 20s, like, you have a lot to learn. You're going to have a lot of shit to go through. Like, it's not going to be easy to not feel discouraged. Like, if you're 25 and you're at that place where you're like, wow, I really thought I was going to be married right now. Like, I surpassed that, because I was in that. I thought I was being married by 25. Like, I thought I was going to have kids at this point. So when I hit 25 and I was like, wait, I'm single. I have zero prospects. I'm in a situationship. Like, yeah, like, I felt like, wow, like, but I got past that and I don't feel like disappointed that or upset that I'm not where I thought I was going to be, because I'm like, I actually couldn't picture myself married with kids at 25. That's actually nuts. Like, my expectations were way too expecting. Like, those were really, that was not my path. That's not the path that I wanted for myself. God knew that. So yeah, like, I don't feel like, oh, I'm running out of time or this or that. No, like, so if you're out there and you're dating, let's just talk about like how to not get discouraged when you are actively dating and things don't work out. I know I just shared my whole story, but like, how do we not burn out when we're dating? Because like I said, it is a full-time job. I think that the first thing is just to have realistic expectations for this, right? Like, it's not a movie. It's sometimes it is. It can, we're all writing our own movies, but it's not like I meet this person in this certain way and then we fall madly in love and that's it. That's all she wrote. I mean, yeah, I do believe like you know when you know, but it's not always smooth sailing like that. Not the person that you go on a date with might not be your person, and I think like that's okay. I think like don't go into dating with like, so like this has to be my person or else like I'm ending it all, like I think like go into it being like, I'm going into this to have fun, to meet somebody new and to see if I could spend a couple hours with somebody. That's all this is. I think don't expect somebody to be the perfect person. Don't expect somebody to not have any red flags. Don't expect somebody to not give you any icks. Well, I actually do think that like the person who's your person won't give you a singular ick. Like, they could like do whatever and it would be fine. But don't expect somebody to just be like the perfect person. People have things, people have quirks, people have this and that, and like don't just write somebody off for the red flags. Yeah, if this person's like giving major red flags, yes, please write them off. Please please walk away from that. But like, you can't just write somebody off because like he's maybe has like bad style. Would that like maybe not be someone you want? Yeah, but can we change that? Yeah, like, so I just think if you are constantly like trying to tick boxes as you go on dates, oh, they have this and then they have this, and you're Xing people out like that, yeah, it's gonna be exhausting. Don't go in with that like checklist. Have a few things. Like I expect my person to be like this, like baseline qualities. But if we're just writing people off because of the red flags or the icks and then only allowing people in, with the green flags, it's like maybe then you're focusing so much on the green flags that you're just ignoring the red flags or the icks. So I think don't go in with like checklist that has no give to it. You gotta have some give, okay? Like, you have to know when you're being a little bit too much. I got to the point now where it's like, you know what? My person's probably not gonna be 6'3", and that's okay. Maybe he is. That's like shooting for the stars. But if he's not, I'm not writing off somebody who's shorter now. I used to do that for sure. I used to just not even look at somebody who wasn't tall. Now I'm just kind of like, I'm open to somebody being shorter. If they are cool, if we get along, if they have all these other things, I'm not gonna not date you or talk to you because you're like a couple inches shorter than I wanted you to be. That's just me maturing and growing up. And I think we'll all get to that point where it's like, I'm looking for somebody who's gonna be my best friend and my partner. At the end of the day, we can sit in chairs and be the same height. Listen, I don't want to date somebody who's like 5'3". Okay, I still have expectations. I still have some not standards, but I still have quality. Like, that's still something that's attractive to me if someone's taller than me. Like, I feel safe that way. So, like, I do need somebody who makes me feel safe. You can be 5'10" and still make me feel safe, okay? Brace yourself for maybe not being your soulmate right off the bat, and also embrace the fact that it might not work out. Like, dating is filled with so many ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. Expect that. I can tell you that right now. Don't expect it to be smooth sailing, because it won't be. And that's not me trying to be negative. That's just me like being honest. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to get hurt, and you're going to know that. But you know what? That's the beauty of it all. Put your heart on the line. That's what I do all the time. Put my heart on the line. I'd rather that than not. And I know I'll get through it. I know I'll be okay. And I'm not going into it being like, it's going to be this perfect fairy tale. That's not real. And that's how I keep from getting burnt out. Because if you're constantly expecting it to be the person or this or this or that, it's going to be really hard to keep going when you're like, wow, damn, again. Like, no, just be like, oh, that wasn't it. It's going to take a lot of no's. It's going to take a lot of that's not my person to get to the one yes. It's all no's until it's a yes, right? Next thing. Pace yourself, people. Don't go on so many dates every week. Space them out. Maybe have one day every 2 weeks, one day every 3 weeks, one date a month, something like that, where it's like you're at least just putting yourself out there. You're staying in practice. I think it's important to show up to practice. Right? Like, conversation is practice. Meeting somebody is practice. Like, communicating with somebody takes practice, and I think that's important to put yourself out there. You can always gain something from a date, even if it didn't go well, even if this person was like so not your person. You learned something, and you put yourself out there, and you tried, and you went on a date, and you stayed in practice, because it can get really hard to go on dates. It's like, oh damn, I haven't been on a date in 8 months. I don't even forget how to do this. Stay in practice, whatever that is for you. Pace yourself though. Don't be trying to rip through 1,000 dates a week. That's just tiring. Of course you're going to be exhausted. Of course you're going to be discouraged, right? So I would say just keep it, like, find the pace that works for you and keep that steady pace. The next thing is to have your boundaries and to know your boundaries and to kind of like communicate that from the start of what you expect from this person. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Be yourself and have your boundaries. And I think like it can feel like a lot if you're going to a date and you're like, this person's gonna expect this from me or this from me, or now like I have to do this. Like, no, like, show up as who you are and have your boundaries set. I have my boundaries. Make sure to stick to that and communicate that to that person so that this person's not expecting something specific of me. And if they're not my person, if that boundary doesn't, jive with them, then they can also walk away, and that makes my life easier. But sticking to your boundaries will make you just feel like kind of less like, I guess, disgusting about dating, or less scared to go into it too. But I think if whatever your boundary is, like, I'm probably not going to kiss you on the first date unless I like really feel something, and I'm definitely not going to sleep with you. That's my boundary. And if I'm constantly going on dates trying to like please somebody else or dodge those things, like, it's going to be really tiring. It's going to like be exhausting to, go on dates, because I'm going to be like, damn, like, I don't want to have to like, dodge this or that or this or that. It's like, set your boundaries, know those mentally, and if you need to communicate that to that person, then communicate that to that person, so that you're not feeling weird about anything. I think the biggest thing with not having dating burnout has been not really using the apps. I deleted Hinge a while back, probably 2 years ago at this point. I don't have Bumble. The only app I have is Riot, because that bitch took me a while to get on. Okay. I was on the wait list for like a year or something. No, maybe not that long. I don't know. And I pay for it, and I'm like, well, I'm here now. So that's kind of how they lock you in. But I don't sit and swipe every night. I'm not like swiping all throughout the day. If I'm feeling like, oh, I kind of want to go on a date this month, I'll get on the app, I'll do a couple swipes, that's it, put it down, go about my day. But for the most part, I'm not really using the apps all too much. But I do think that's a great way to meet people. that maybe you would have never crossed paths with, because I do think that it works if used properly and not used in like a surplus. If you're sitting there swiping all day, and I think like that's more so on Hinge and Bumble, because on Raya you can only swipe I think it's like 10 times, and then they limit you. So, which I think is healthy. I think more apps should do that, where they limit you, because then it allows you to actually see the connections that you actually make, because maybe you don't connect with somebody right away, like maybe it doesn't match you right away. And then maybe like if you're matching with so many people, then you have so many text messages coming in, so many messages. Like on Hinge, I remember you used to like open up and be like, you have 100 people who liked you, and then you have 50 messages, and I'm just like, whoa, this is so overwhelming. Like I have to literally like put in vacation time to be able to answer all these messages. So make sure that you're not sitting there swiping all day. I think that's like would help your brain and your energy so much, is because like I don't need to like sit and do small talk with 50 different people. Let's limit the amount of time that we're sitting on the dating apps, and let's try to also put ourselves out there with more people in real life and go to more actual events and places and things. And I do think that makes it exciting. I go to places sometimes and I'm like, maybe my husband's there, you know, like, or like, you know, I just, whenever I have an intuitive thing where I'm like, I feel like I need to go to this, I go, because you just never know. And I've met amazing people going out, and I feel like I really love engaging with people in real life versus on dating apps, because it's like I know I already have something in common with you. We're in the same place. Maybe we have a connection. And yeah, but like try to limit the amount of times you're sitting on this dating app, because I also think it could be super encouraging when you're like, I just got 50 people who are interested in me. Not a single one of them interested in me. How am I supposed to find somebody? You know, it's like, if I'm not attracted to one of these people, like, damn, it's going to be rough out here. And I think like that will definitely give you fatigue. You'll definitely become fatigued if you are constantly seeing all these people who are interested in you and you're not interested in a single one of them. That can feel really discouraging. So limit the amount of time that you're sitting on the app. Maybe you just like every day for, I don't know, 5 minutes I swipe, or one day I will go through my messages and I'll pick one person to answer. Something like that. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is to feel like you're not literally spending hours and hours on dating apps and then nothing's coming out of it. When you're putting in the work and you're not seeing any return, like, yeah, you're going to get exhausted. I think another way, I think what helps is obviously friends. And I was just talking to my girlfriends about this recently. I'm like, thank God I have single friends. So a lot of my friends now are married, dating, and single in relationships, but then I always have my single girlies, and that's changed. Like obviously my single girlies, they get into relationships and we still hang out, of course, but it's like, it's different now. You're not on the streets anymore. Like I need my friends who are like in there, because I swear, like once people get a ring on it, once people are in relationships, they don't realize like I think they black out, or like they black out that trauma previous to that, and they forget actually how hard it is to be dating sometimes, like what it's like to actually be dating. And I'm like, you don't understand. I also just think it's like a different bond with your girlfriends who are single, and like talking about it can help sometimes. Like talking about it can just be funny, and you just feel more encouraging, not so alone when somebody else is also going through the same thing, of course, or somebody else has been through something like that. And when you could just bond over the fact that like you're both out here just trying to find your people, and you know, we're all going through something different, something whatever. So I also think what's helped me though not feel so fatigued and tired is, on the contrast of that, is it's not telling as many people. I talked about this recently, but like I'm not talking to so many people about like every single detail, or every single time I talk to somebody new, or this or that, or every time I go on a date. Like I'm just not telling as many people. And I tell people like a little bit later on, and I'll only select a few people who I'm talking to a certain person or thing about, because it can be really exhausting to like talk about the same story, talk about the same person over and over and over again. And then you're like feeling that same disappointment over and over and over and over again if maybe it didn't pan out or this or that. And by having to tell somebody, or having people constantly ask and jab questions at you, and it's like, I don't have the answers, or like, yeah, like this did happen. And it's like, I'm telling this horrible story or this thing that really upset me 5, 10, 15 times, and I don't want to keep talking about it. I don't want to keep bringing light to it, because like then I'm reliving the situation and the same feelings over and over and over again. And that's exhausting. I maybe only want to relive that feeling once. I maybe don't want to relive that feeling at all. And when you keep things to yourself, then you can kind of process things in your own time and in your own way, and not feel like you need to tell everybody about it, or everybody's asking about it or wondering it, or you know, everybody else is then feeling discouraged or disappointed, or then putting their emotions and 2 cents into it, like, oh, like fuck him, or yeah, this, that. And it's like, I know, like I'm tired, you know. So I think just keeping things to yourself and knowing, picking and choosing who to tell and when to tell, is definitely super helpful to not feel like so drained when dating. My last thing would just be like, take breaks. If you really feel like it's becoming too much, take a break, backseat it, back pocket it. Dating will always be there. It's usually when you aren't looking that you find that person anyways. So who's to say? But if you ever feel like it's getting to a point where you don't want to go on a date or it's not exciting you, then it's time to take a break. Take a step back, regroup, refocus, reprioritize. And then when you feel ready again, get back out there. But don't force yourself to date. You should be going into every single date feeling excited, feeling refreshed, feeling like, I'm bringing my best energy and my best self to this date. Don't show up to dates being like, I don't even know if I want to be here, this or that. Yeah, sometimes you have to force yourself to go. It's like, I could really just stay in and do nothing tonight. But it's like, sometimes you have to know when to rally. I can't tell you that. But then you also have to know when it's like, it's okay to take a step back. You don't have to say yes to every single date and opportunity that comes your way. You have to say no. Exercise that word, please. Exercise the word no. There's been times where even in yoga, teacher training, in yoga, where I've had to learn to say no to picking up more classes or teaching at certain studios. It's okay to say no. More opportunities will come. More opportunities will be out there. And sometimes it takes saying no to get that better opportunity. Don't just say yes to every single person who asks you out or every single thing that comes your way or every single person who might feel something with. Like, I think when you feel chemistry with somebody, maybe you don't feel that off the bat. So yeah, sometimes maybe it does take that chance of being like, you know what, I'm going to give this person a chance. I think your intuition will tell you when and who to give that chance to. But if it really doesn't feel like something that you're aligned with or something that you want to do or something that, you see something with or feel any inkling towards, then don't just go for the free meal or the coffee or the free whatever. Go because you really want to be there, and go in with a good attitude and go in excited. And if you're going in with anything less than that, then don't go. Don't go. Okay. But yeah, I think like that's all I got for you guys today. I feel like I really, really loved this episode. I think this was so, so needed. And I feel like I've grown and changed so much, and like we're really growing up together. And I feel like really I'm the best version of myself I've ever been, which makes me feel so much more proud to share my advice and my experiences with you guys, because I'm like, damn, like I really did that, and like we're really doing that, and I just feel really happy and really proud of like the messages that I'm putting out there. So I owe God for that. I owe you guys for that. I owe my experiences for that. Like I really feel like I'm showing up as the most authentic version of myself, and similar to how I'm doing that for you guys, and it's making you guys feel closer to me. Like it's the same thing in dating. I'm showing up as like the most authentic version of myself, which is why I feel so good about like this next year and the person that I'm going to end up with and who I'm going to attract. So, yeah, I love you guys. Follow me on Instagram, Nicole Doyon, TikTok, Nicole_Doyon, Snapchat, Nicole Doyon. If you liked this episode, please share it. Please tag me, comment, I don't know, whatever. Support your girl. Stay tuned for my yoga retreat announcement. I'm about to hop on a call right now with them so that maybe you can come on the next trip with me and we can hang out. There's going to be yoga, Pilates, meditation, hiking, farmers markets, surfing, whale watching, all the things. And we'll just be in the jungle, and the resort will be all ours. So I love you guys. We will chat next week, and I hope you have an incredible week. And if you're going on a date, I hope you have so much fun and you enjoy it and you have the best time. And maybe that's your person. And if it's not, that's okay too. One step closer. I love you. Bye.